What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Young Woo back with some more on the block news, man. Before I even get this shit started, make sure y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, man. Not later, but right now. Hit the links in the description. Uh, get acquainted with my music. Go to my website. Subscribe to my social medias, all that. But today topic of this discussion is Britney Griner. She was found guilty in Russian drug trial. It's a sentence to 9 years in prison. It says she was sentenced for 9 years to 9 years in prison. Britney Griner back in Russia court for closing arguments. The WNBA star is due back in court as her trial reaches a close, with the verdict and sentence expected on Friday. Evgenia, I don't know how to say that word. WNBA star Britney Griner, who has been detained in Russia for over 5 months, was found guilty on drug charges in Moscow area court Thursday. She was then sentenced to 9 years in prison. The judge found that Griner had criminal intent and said she is guilty of smuggling and storing illegal drugs. Griner, a 31-year-old Houston native who plays professional basketball for the Phoenix Mercury, was detained on February 7th at the Sheremetyevo International Airport in Khimki as she returned to Russia to play during the WNBA's offseason after she was accused of having vape cartridges containing hashish oil, which is illegal in the country. The two-time Olympic gold medalist who appeared in court Thursday for the final hearing in her trial was facing up to 10 years in prison, although 9.5 years is the maximum sentence. With time served, Griner has a right to appeal. Griner shared an emotional statement in court ahead of the verdict on Thursday morning. She apologized to her loved ones for the hurt that her detention has caused and said that her parents instilled hard work in her, and this value is what brought her to Russia. Griner's trip to Russia to play in the offseason has underscored the issue of pay inequality in professional basketball. Many WNBA players have traveled around the world to play the offseason because they don't make enough during the season, an issue that is not as prevalent for NBA players. The top WNBA salary is $228,000 per season, whereas star NBA players make over $20 million a year. The Phoenix Mercury star held up a photo of her Russian teammates on Thursday and said that she made an honest mistake by packing the vape cartridges in her bag. The prosecutor argued that Griner's guilt has been proven and also asked Griner to pay a $16,500 fine, which is about a million Russian rubles. Griner pleaded guilty to drug charges in court last month, saying the vape cartridges containing hashish oil were in her luggage mistakenly and that she had no intention of breaking Russian law. Her legal team told ABC News in a statement last week that a guilty plea was recommended by Russian attorneys. Britney sets an example for being brave. She decided to take full responsibility for her actions as she knows that she is a role model for many people. The lawyer said in the statement, considering the nature of her case, the insignificant amount of substance, and BG's personality and history of positive contributions to global and Russian sport, the defense hopes that the plea will be considered by the court as mitigating factor and there will be no severe sentence. Griner testified last week that she did not mean to leave the cartridges in her bag, but that she was in a hurry and was stressed after recovering from COVID-19 that month. The WNBA star said she was aware that the U.S. had warned Americans about traveling to Russia, but she didn't want to let her team down in the playoffs. She also testified that she has permission to use medical cannabis and used a certificate to buy it in the U.S. earlier this month. One of Griner's attorneys presented a letter from an American doctor in court giving her permission to use cannabis to reduce chronic pain. The American basketball star says she was pulled aside after inspectors at the airport found the vape cartridges in her luggage, and that when she was detained, she was not offered an explanation of her rights or access to an attorney. Griner said that while there was a translator present, she was not offered a complete translation and even tried to use her phone to translate. Russia's invasion of neighboring Ukraine began 1 week after Griner was detained, and some officials have expressed concern that Americans jailed in Russia could be used as leverage in the ongoing war. The U.S. Department of State has classified both Whalen and Griner as wrongfully detained. Last week, in a sharp reversal, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken announced that he will hold a call with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in the coming days to discuss securing the freedom of Griner and former U.S. Marine Paul Whalen, who has been detained in Russia since late 2018. They have been wrongfully detained and must be allowed to come home, Blinken told reporters in Washington, D.C. On July 27, we put a substantial proposal on the table weeks ago to facilitate her release. Our governments have communicated repeatedly and directly on that proposal, and I'll use the conversation to follow up personally, and I have to move toward a resolution. A resolution. 2 days later, Blinken told reporters that he had a frank and direct conversation I'll use the conversation to follow up personally, and I hope to move us toward a resolution. 2 days later, Blinken told reporters that he had a frank and direct conversation with Lavrov about a U.S. proposal to exchange convicted arms dealer Victor Bout in return for Griner and Whalen's freedom. I pressed the Kremlin to accept the substantial proposal that we put forth on the release of Paul Whalen and Britney Griner. Blinken said, I'm not going to characterize his responses, and I can't give you an assessment of whether I think things are more or less likely, but it was important that he hear directly from me on that. During a press conference in Moscow on July 28, Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokeswoman Maria Zakharova confirmed that the issue of mutual exchange, Russian and American citizens staying in places of detention on the territory of the two countries was discussed at one time by the presidents of Russia in the United States, but a concrete result has not yet been achieved. So yeah, man, they sentenced this Britney Griner. This ABC News report said they sentenced her to 9 years. You feel me? That's fucked up, man. Hey, all the traveling is cool, but everybody say how much fun they have when they travel across the world, but nobody says how bad it feels to get arrested outside of your own country. She was sentenced to 9 years for weed. Like, you wouldn't even got 9 days, 9 hours out here in California. You feel me? So, traveling the world is cool. Like, I don't got no passport yet, but I do plan on getting one. But I don't want to have to, go to nowhere where a nigga can't smoke or, a nigga just put himself in position to be in jail outside the country. You feel me? So, as y'all see, it happened to a WNBA star. So that shit can happen to anybody. You feel me? I ain't ever been to Russia. I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know what's in Russia for me to see. I don't know what would make me go to Russia. You feel me? I don't know. It don't make sense to me to go to Russia. Now, Africa. Yeah, I go to Africa, even Jamaica, like, oh my mama, even, Barbados or some shit. I go to those places because, you hear good things about them. You feel me? But Russia, I don't know if I heard too much good stuff about Russia. You feel me? But let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, man. Not later, but right now, my name is Young Woo. This is On The Block News.
Britney, bitch, I'm solid as steel. Break the homie, catch a case, we gon' fall in the pill. Got a vibe with the heat, cause my diamonds is chill. I got it on my jewels, boy, you must be trying to get killed. Real tote bag, red bottom or heels. Got them wondering if Young Woo sign him a deal. Niggas can't fuck with me, I done served 100 P's. I be where the money be, flying over other seas. Truth is, I got more love when I was broke. Now I got money, seem like niggas want to smoke. Bad bitches wanna fuck me cause I'm dope. All I see is green, getting bundles with the lokes. I can't let a broke boy trick me off the street. Remember I was homeless, now you rent up on my feet. What you spent in a year, I just spent it in a week. Still hungry, chasing meals, showing niggas how to eat. Real street nigga, I ain't trying to play gangster. Young go get it, I just wanna make paper. It ain't saber with my Glock, I feel way safer. And it came with a drum like a bass player. Fuck getting ready, always ready for combat. Can't tell I got it on me, reason I love a compact. I can't sign a deal unless it's millions in the contract. Money on your head, then them killers push your top back. Young boss nigga, woo to you peons. Better run like Ricky when we dumping out the Nissan. Bring the money straight to the block like King Von. Ice on my neck be shining harder than neon. Niggas wasn't moving right, now they left out. Ain't nobody crossing me, they getting X'd out, chest out. If you ask me, I'm the best out. Who got more money, me or you? Nigga, let's count. Cocky little dude, I be rocking all my jewels. Put it in my hand and the product getting moved. When we catch them, stretch them, put his partners on the news. Isn't it ironic how we talked them by the school? Right there, on the block like I'm serving crack. Niggas better not speak on Young Woo, I heard he strapped. Everybody acting like they killers, that just murder cat. Niggas from packs turn track star when burners clap. Will Smith a nigga hit him with the Ike Turner slap. These niggas can't really rap, all they verses whack. Presidential rollie on my wrist, cost like 30 racks. I ain't never tripping on spending cause I'ma earn it back. Yeah, I'm a real project baby from PB, nigga. Heard you hit the bounty jail and went PC, nigga. While I was looking like a star on your TV, nigga. You probably mad I'm signing hard with these VVs, nigga. Look, I was trying to put niggas on, but they had other plans. Talking about who's tougher, but I don't understand. Roddy Rich a nigga, have you ever touched 100 bands? Stack it up and blow it, man, don't run it up again. Roddy Rich a nigga, have you ever touched 100 bands? Huh? What? Nigga, Roddy Rich a nigga, have you ever touched 100 bands? Yeah, nigga, I'm the fucking man. Roddy Rich a nigga, have you ever touched 100 bands? Tell me, nigga, huh? Can't hear you, nigga. Speak up. Roddy Rich a nigga, have you ever touched 100 bands? Never seen it, nigga. Have you ever touched it, nigga? Roddy Rich a nigga, have you ever touched 100 bands? I let the money talk for me, young nigga. I Roddy Rich a nigga, have you ever touched 100 bands? Huh? Nigga, how you seen it before, nigga?